So today we're going to be doing a backtest bar replay or whatever you call it of Euro GBP of September 19th. Okay. So I'll give you my thought process. I'll give you exactly what I look for. And I'll talk exactly of everything I do in life. The only thing I'm not going to be able to do is the candle closure reaction because basically in bar replay, you instantly skip what's happening. Okay. Again, I'll do a simulation on if I would be waking up in the middle of Asia. So if I would be trading London, what do we do? Okay, how can we have an idea of the current day, the current market, the current trend, or call it whatever? So we can see clearly, no need to look immensely on the left. We have clear downwards price action, right? You agree, right? Price is from this point only creating new lows. Okay. We have the market sentiment. It's short. Pretty simple. Okay. Now, what do we have at Asia? Already, we can put that we have same type of price action, downwards downwards liquidity, right? People are shorting. Okay. Now, let's continue. Let's continue until London. Now we have potentially new lows being created. Very nice. Now we can copy this. Now what happens? Remember, this invalidation shield the invites will be being sent today. So maybe by Sunday, everybody should have the indicators if you fill the type form, right? The type form is in WAP. So now we have downwards price action, and this means that it's the most relevant Asia low for now, since we don't have the rest of the data. Okay. So we ignore this price action, no liquidity here. Everything here is completely invalidated. Okay. We continue now. Fails to make a new high. Perfect. Let's see if it continues. Okay. So this is the leg. This is the leg, right? Now what we do, put an alert here, price closed above. Now this is the new leg, right? Oh, okay. Sounds familiar. What do we have here, right? Structural shift. Clearly, right? We have what we call a F-boss. Okay. So if we have an F-boss, we also have, we also have breakout traders entering, right? If we have breakout traders entering, we have liquidity here, or we can just put it here, right? Whatever you want to do, it's actually the same thing. Okay. So I'll put it here because I like that the structure is being taken to the upside. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. Now we're filling this imbalance to the left. Now, in some cases, we would expect a reaction based on this, right? Because we have a nav boss. So, and this is something also, a little nugget for you guys. When we have a nav boss, we should expect price to go lower. And this is where we trade into the inducement. With experience, you can actually target this SMT area. Okay. But like I always say, trading is very situational. In this case, since we have equal highs, important equal highs, right? We have Asia high where this invalidates. But a lot of people are trying to find one size fits all mold and see, okay, if we have an FBOS, can we trade against? Yes, but not in every cases. This is why you need to account everything that is in play right now. And in this case, we have, yes, an imbalance PY. We have a clear inducement with this vector candle here, but we have, the screen has some bug or it's only me. Same here. Same. Okay, then we just stop the sharing and we reshare. Here we go. Can you guys see now? Is this still glitching? No, no glitching. Better. Okay. Um, anyways, if there's any glitches, what I'll do is I'll also, um, give me a minute. I'll also record my screen. So if there's missing data, we'll have it. Okay. Perfect. So now, like I was saying, we have this downwards price action, right? Also, we have that FBOS here, inducing more buyers, new structural high created, clear vector candle with our indicator, new structural low here that was made from here. So this liquidity is relevant for this point here. And what I was explaining is a lot of people would ask me, okay, but this would be valid, right? Because we expect that if we have an FBOS, that price would trade against and we can potentially find an entry. And yes, in some cases, yes, but since trading is really situational, we need to understand that what's happening right now. We have Asia high, we have equal highs. This is not something you want to trade. But if you have experience, you can understand those types of setups. And in some cases, you can maybe take some trades, right? If you see those candle closure, taking those equal highs, but even though it's again faking more highs, you can maybe enter like this. But this is not something I recommend, and this is not something I do. I stay away from Asia low and Asia high when there's POIs. Okay. Um, so this is very important. We understand right now candle closure. What you let's do something. If you have questions, guys, let's wait to the end because it disturbs me to always look at the chat and I have to pause the actual call. So all right, so let's go. Price is faking those equal highs. Now we push, push, push. Clear candles. There's no doubt about it. Now what we do and what I like to do is I need to justify this SMT to know if it's relevant to keep it in my chart, right? Let's go here. For me, there's no entries, there's no reaction, so there's no real enticement for people to enter. So I'm not gonna put it because you can see here, there's nothing, right? It didn't even slow down. So for me, this is more so, yes, it's an FBOS, but it's more so a breakout traders entering. So I don't put this here, so I keep my charts clean. Okay, perfect. Let's continue. We have new breakout traders entering here. So what we have, it solidifies our sell here, right? Perfect. Now, let's push again. We're close to almost you guys' session. So we push, push, push. Okay, so we're react when there's an inducement of Asia low. Remember, this is the real Asia low. We need to justify what is this reaction. What is it reacting to? So we put a line here, we justify here. Okay, so we're reacting out of this zone. What is this candle? What has this candle do? Didn't make a new high, right? This is the push that probably mitigated this crap here. So for me, there's no relevant liquidity here. Nothing, so we don't actually trade. And this is in some cases where I would be taking some continuation trade, something like that, right? Like this, and I would be targeting just a little bit of money to pay out some chicken like this, right? Because you just understand that the impulse of this reaction is fake. Okay. So sometimes if I want to have a little bit of fun, 1 2 3s, like yesterday with AUD USD, I can take some trades like this, right? It's just free money. Let's take it because we understand that this reaction is just a release of this structural point, but it doesn't have relevant liquidity to reverse. Okay. Let's continue. We still have our same idea. Price is shorting, right? Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Now we have a clear candle closure that closes like this, right? That candle went until here, and in 5 minutes it went back here, and this one closed above. What does this mean? We need to justify this move. So we'll put a line. What happened? Oh, it's the opposite. It took this point. Now let's look together what this point did, right? Um, Here we go. This point led to this high, even though it's not a really, really, really big structural high, but this for me justifies enough liquidity. Okay. Boom. Now, perfect when London Open works. A lot of people have been talking about timing and all that those things. Look at timing the same way that you look at rush hour on the highway. Everybody starts work at, like, let's say 8:30 a.m. or 9 a.m. So it's normal that on bridges and on the highway there's a lot of cars 1 hour ish before, right? Trading is the same thing. These people arrive to work, they enter their entries, they enter their position. So it's normal that these early session or these session open actually provides volume because people are sitting down to their desk and working. I don't want to the theory of bullshit trading, all that crap. I'm not good with this stuff. It's just basic logic. Okay. It's normal. They open, they work, happen, whatever. That's it. That's the only thing you want to know. There's no chit chat about hedge fund or whatever because I don't have that information and I don't want to bullshit you guys. Okay. So now we have a reaction. So where would be the only point that we would look for? Okay. It's either filling this imbalance here or targeting this liquidity. I use a technique that is called reverse trading. I invented this technique. I showed them to my previous community. I'm the one that invented this technique. So if you hear this online, it's bullshit. I was the one inventing it. Reverse trading was a technique that I used for at least 2 years to help my brain stay away from reversal trades. When you see an opportunity that you missed, okay, let's say this actually for you clears out as an inducement, and you think that you would have, after hindsight being printed, you think that you would have entered here. This was example what you would want to do. But then price does this and you try to buy. What reverse trading is position yourself as a simulation, like if you wanted to short from here, and tell to yourself as an optimistic trader where would be your target. Obviously, most of you guys would be targeting the fence. So the reverse trading technique is you put a RTP here, R partial here, partial, and you put a, let's say maybe here, RB. This helps your brain, and you put alerts from here, here, here. This helps your brain to actually be patient and waiting until this setup is completed to actually enter a new trade. Same thing for here. There's no entry here. If you go on the M1, there's no entry. Of course, this is the relevant break of structure, and potentially price can come back. But most likely when price is already extended like this, it's probably more so going to react to this actual decisional zone. Okay. Because for me, if we put this relevant breaker structure here and price starts reversing to here, this actually also provides liquidity as an FBOS. And I wouldn't like the price to go back to this potential SMT to induce early buyers. So the only thing I want to see is a reaction of that decisional. Okay, because even though this is the relevant breaker structure, it's also potentially liquidity. So if I would be in buys from the tip, let's say I would be the best trader in the world, I would clearly take all the moves. I'm the best guru in the world. Where would be my target? It would be obviously Asia high, right? The most probable TP would be Asia high, but we also have this point here. And now we need to justify, is this point important? Yes or no? No, because price actually feeds until like here. All this is the spread hours. So this invalidates entries, right? So you need to look at this price until maybe this point, right? Because when price wicks like this. And this is the reason why we didn't include the first 5 minutes of this thing here. You can notice that the Asia session starts at 11:05. That's why we didn't start at 5 at 11 because we want to exclude this wick here, and this invalidates this point because this point is not relevant. Because actually, if you check on the feeder, it, nobody would be entering here, right? It's impossible at this hour to enter like this. You will be like literally be entered at like 30 pips. So let's go back to, I talked too much, sorry. Let's go back to my reverse trading technique. This is good for people that have FOMO. This is good for people that have greed, that are constantly over trading. Is practice yourself to identify those reverse trading technique, actually going against your original thought process, your original gut feeling, and think about it as if you entered here, that would be your target. So what I do is I put an alert here and I don't look at the market until this reverse trading is done. This is good when you need to practice FOMO, patience, and all that crap. For me, I don't do it anymore, but you see that I created this technique to help my brain to practice and be excluded of potential pullbacks, fake moves, or like even reverse trades against the actual liquidity. Because there's liquidity here, and people see that, oh, we have this here. So when we will fill the imbalance, we have a reaction of that SMT, and then I'm going to short here. Think about your reverse trade. If you wanted to enter here, where would be your target? It's obvious. It would be here. This is why when we're always in a trade, we're always more optimistic than when we're trying to catch a reversal. It's always weird, right? When we earn this buy, we want this TP to be hit. But when we're not, we're expecting the price to reverse from random zones. And this is why the reverse trading technique is useful. So this is my little tip for you guys, but we'll have another call about that. I just wanted to talk about it. I'll explain all the perks and features of the reverse trading in a future video. So let's go, let's continue price. Now we have, okay, so we have potentially a break and retest zone. Okay, now let's have a reaction, perfect. So it confirms our reaction here with those candle closure. We know actually that there's potentially reverse traders entering. The breakout is clear. We also have a breakout here, but remember, since this point and this point uses the same structure, I didn't mark this thing here because it's irrelevant. So for me, it's not important. Now, let's continue. Go. Oh, okay, comes back. Did it touch? No. So actually, I had it wrong. It's okay. I'm not perfect. It's okay. So it actually fills this little zone here. How big is this? 2.1. It's good. Okay. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's continue. Let's continue. Okay. Now, as you can see, if you would be in this trade, that would be your RB, reverse trade break even, right? So let's continue. Now price reverses. Now we have our candle closure above. Now it's just respecting those orders one by one. Perfect. Now let's push. Now we're just reacting to this zone here. And this is where the reverse trading is useful, because a lot of you guys will want to react out of this zone because you thought that this mini inducement here, that little thingy here, is relevant, even though the session always provides the same, the analysis provides the same sentiment, because people put those lines so precise, they expect this to be an entry. Of course, this can induce those equal highs, but it also creates new equal highs because some people look at this as being a zone and not perfect lines. Tell me one single trader that actually enters precisely to these zones. There's none. These lines, sorry, they see this as zones. It's very important. And this is where a lot of people get trapped. They see this, right? Let's go back in time. And this is why I'll show you all my tips about the candle closure. You see this demand zone or supply or whatever you call it, and you see this reaction, and you expect that now we're making some upwards price action, right? And that there's liquidity here. I forgot to put liquidity here. Let's put it here. This is why I hate bar replay. I miss important stuff. I forget about it. And this is where a lot of you guys would do this, right? Here, and do this, and then target this. And what happens? It's always the same thing. It's always the same thing. If, just think about it, if you're able to easily identify a setup that way, 90% of people are doing exactly the same thing. So always trade when liquidity is taken for now. Then we'll talk about trading into the liquidity, against, sorry. So let's continue. I feel that this call is going to be messed up, but it's okay. So this is why those kind of trades, it's a no-no, right? And it's just maybe just coming back and retesting the zone also. We don't care. There's no liquidity. There's nothing. We don't trade it, okay? So let's push candle closure above. Now there's a wick. Look at this one. How this wick closed like this, taking maybe these little thingy here. Okay, maybe it's okay. Where is the reverse TP? It's at Asia high. We don't look at it until we have an alert. Okay. So now we have maybe also new breakout traders entering here, right? Now we have this here. Now we have some nice buyers liquidity being built, but we only have one seller here, right? Perfect. Let's continue. Inducement, clearly. Okay, clearly, we did this candle. Now let's look at this. We already identified that this point is completely useless because useless structure. Bad boy. Okay. So this is why you identify structural points, because you understand that, again, look at trading like the rush hour on the highway. Do you sincerely think that banks or people are actually trying to trade at literally 10 p.m. at night? Are you at work at 10 p.m.? You're not. So people are also are not at work, right? So there's nobody that is trying to trade these sessions. Asia starts here. So Asia session, Asian, maybe yes, but at this point, nobody's trading. Okay. Let them sleep. Let's go. I can bet $1 billion that this is not going to be hit. No, I'm not going to say this because it already shot me in the foot once because I said $1 million and it took it. So I'm not going to say nothing. Now we have clear wicked out candle. This is where the fake out people are actually entering and being faked out. Those whatever false move or bullshit like that. Perfect. And then the next candle closes below, right? So now we have enticement to enter. And this is where you want to go and lower time frame. And let's check. Let's check together. What do we have? So actually, we know for a fact that we had our inducement, right? Our inducement is here. Do we have a potential relevant break of structure here? We have this one here, but need to identify this on the M5. So M5 should be this structure. Let's say it's at this one. So you see the time 10:10. This point here is the opening, the end of a structure of the M5. And the next one, the candle, actually, the next candle is this one here. So this point should be, if my math is good, M5 candle. Oh, I know how to count until 5. Look at this perfectly. Let's go. So this is the perfect candle, structural point, right? This point led to the new high. And understand that all the time frames are actually working on with the same minutes, right? See this 50, the next 5M candle is at this one, right? So this thing here, let's put it orange. What the fuck did I do? Star, background, this thing. God damn it. Why am I doing this? This technically should be a candle. Ah, I'm wrong. It's this one. What did I do wrong? Ah, okay. This one. Sorry, the one before. This one. I don't even know how to count to five. Anyway, just to explain that every single time frame can be seen on each time frames, and this is the same thing. So the M15 candle should be this thing, right? If you go on M15, see, this is the structure of the M15 candle. And the problem is that some people mix up the time frames and they go on a lower time frame here and they forget about the higher time frame play. So this point led to the new high on M5, right? This point. So we know that this thing is actually the relevant breaker structure, but can also be identified as an FBOSS, right? Because if now that price builds upwards, not channel, but price action, if it goes here, depending on how it closes, we'll potentially have a FBOSS. So now let's continue and let's play price and see what it does. Okay. Clearly reaction, clearly from the liquidity taken. We already see it. Now we have this structural point here. We have this imbalance being filled here. Okay. Now a lot of people will want to trade this, but always look as when is the most relevant inducement to trade away from. So this one was a relevant inducement. We trade away until the next liquidity point. This one, we trade away until the next liquidity point. Where is this one providing the next liquidity point? It's this, right? So this is an inducement. This is a relevant liquidity. This is an inducement. This is a relevant liquidity, right? Oops. This one here, right? So it's always we induce something, we trade away from something. So this is why this buy is invalid because we took relevant liquidity. So let's play price. Taken, it's off, gone. Let's continue. So now this is why you see those candles. You see this M5 candle, right? And you look on the M1. We took liquidity. We also mitigated the same order that we have. Oh, God damn it, this color, I need to get rid of it. You go here. And this is potentially where my goal would be to take a trade because we created that FBOSS, right? So we identified this as being an SMT. Beautiful. Speed, momentum, mitigating this also imbalance zone. Now we can identify this as being a relevant FBOSS. Now we have a relevant breakout structure. Why is this relevant and not internal? Because this point led to this new low. Now we have this POI here, and it should go to this point here. Again, SMT, why FBOSS? Remember, guys, questions at the end. I don't want to read the chat because it disturbs me. Let's play price and see what happens. Now, oh, God damn it. That was almost OSL. Fuck's sake. It's still valid. It's still valid. That would have been golden. Okay, so now we have an M5 here. What do we have to the left, right? What do we have to the left? Nothing. So I don't like that there's nothing. So this would be where I move myself to break even pretty aggressively, right? So you have a reaction. This is why I say candle closure. This would be my type of B, especially when price is like doing these types of things. Maybe there's potentially a reaction to here or whatever, but there's nothing. It shouldn't reverse technically, but I don't like it. Okay, so okay, let's go on M5 now. My chart is glitching. Now we have a candle closing here. The only thing we have is this. And to be honest, it's only on the M1. So maybe break even these guys. We don't know. We're break even. It doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. Next candle. Let me focus to a second. Um, if we take this liquidity with enticing these guys to enter, this FBOS entices this SMT. Now we have, see, this point made this pull, but this failed to make a new low. So I don't identify this as being an SMT. See, even I need to slow down. I need to check those. I need to stack those evidence that potentially price will not reverse from here, because if this point would have made a new low, taking this liquidity or whatever, then this would have been an FBOS and this would have become an SMT, right? But in this case, we're just reacting to this SMT. So this is trading into the liquidity. So, I mean, at this point, I'm break even, so it doesn't really matter. This would be really something I would take. This is a type of trade I would take day in and day out. Little bitch. What is he doing? Okay, now creating an intra, a lower time frame SMT. We have the speed, we have the momentum, it proves it. Now we fill this imbalance pretty well. That would be the type of trades also I would take when I'm really aggressive, but the SL is too small, so that would stay away from it. Let's go on M5. Okay, we fill this imbalance. There's no more imbalance. It took it. Now here, little tricky trade, little tricky trade. And this is why I hate those goddamn brawler replay. Okay, now here, reacting out of this here. No, it's not reacting out of this. Yes, it is. What is this fucking trade? Okay, so now it induced. Okay, this here. If sorry, if this fills this the imbalance. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay on M5. I'll just wait until the. This is why I hate the bar replay, because I'm not able to see the speed of that candle being printed. I don't see the sentiment. I don't know. Yeah, I hate this shit. Okay, now it's good. Because here, and it's weird that in bar replay, I'm more stressed than in real life because I cannot see the sentiment. When a candle pushes fast, you know that there's enticement. People are excited. How can I know this shit on bar replay? It's impossible because they print me the whole thing instantly. Okay. Now, for me, partial zone would be this. Why? Because it's filling the imbalance. It's also the inducement POI. What is an inducement? Inducing the equal highs. We'll talk about inducement POI very, very shortly. So this would be my partials. Okay. Now this is being taken pretty well. Rejection candle, reaction to it, right? Okay. Okay, perfect. Now we mark this as being SMT. We have a reaction. It should take the high. Okay. I remember what day is this. I think somebody asked me that question. Like I said, there's nothing much you can do if this holds. Okay, because this induces all this liquidity here. So it holds volume. So they're actually, and this is where you can actually even argue that, and this is a clear FBOS for me. So this is an SMT because it's enticing people to short clearly, right? But the problem is it's also taking liquidity. So maybe this becomes a relevant breaker structure because when there's relevant liquidity taken, the actual relevant break of structure isn't an FBOS because there's relevant liquidity taken. But the problem is the speed and momentum that for me entices being an actual SMT. And this is why I think that the partial zone being taken at this this PY here would be the best decision. And this is why a lot of people target this, and this is two R's different. Take 80% here, and that's it. I'm telling you, this is an F boss in my books. When I saw it live, it's an F boss. My analysis proved that it's an F boss, but since we took relevant liquidity, it's mitigating. But the problem is, I don't like how it's perfectly mitigating with these equal highs. And maybe this will become relevant when they put the new low. If they do, I think well, this is where it was the news. So now this becomes very, very important as liquidity. But you cannot predict such moves. You cannot be 100% sure that they will take at the same time. Just take your partials, right? This is what I do. About 60% of my trades, maybe even more, don't hit TP. What I'm really good with is my strike rate. I'm really good at taking entries. My entries are very good. I understand the sentiment, the candle closure, the speed, the momentum, and where to enter. You guys saw it days in and days out. But the problem is you cannot perfectly have a TP every single time because actually they need to induce liquidity to the opposite side. And at the same time, this induces this point here. Uh, and this is why this should be changed to a relevant breakout structure. But I don't agree. And I don't fucking care. This is an F boss. Technically, on my books, this is an F boss. We have speed, we have enticement, we have clear liquidity that has been created here. Look at the momentum. I don't care what the trade plays. This is an F boss. And you have, and I think everybody here actually understands this. And this is why this is my type of trade. And I don't take this. I think a member asked me if I would be taking this. This is a no no for me. This is a no no because look at this. When it reacts to this point here, right? And then imagine it takes this structural point there and reverses on you with speed and momentum of the candle of the news. It's a no. For your question, let's go to Yen for the questions. So this is exactly how I would be trading this day. Looking at things in hindsight is easy. Like if you see this whole day and you would say, yeah, this is a BY, this is a relevant break of structure, and I target the goddamn graveyard. It's easy, but you need to be honest with yourself. Is this something you would be doing in live? And this is why I hate bar replay because I'm not able to actually confirm if something has been done. Uh, how would react in live. And this is why this play here actually stresses me out because I cannot see the speed of those candles. I don't recommend you using any type of software. Don't do FX replay. Don't do TradeZilla. Don't do all this crap because you don't see the speed and momentum. I've used FX replay for hours. I played with it and I wasn't even able to make significant money because it doesn't work. Any single tool doesn't show you the speed because they have the data as of which they have the print data where it's going. And for me, it doesn't help me because I need to see it live. And trading requires a lot of gut feeling. If I see something, I need, and look, this is the kind of example when it rejected here, I would have entered here. But in live, I would have seen this candle and I would have potentially wait until it gives me more candle to have a better idea. And this is why I was stressing out here to potentially hit an SL. But it's okay. Hitting SLs is part of the game, and I hit multiples a day. Um, but a lot of people talk about the highs being taken and blah blah blah. It's not important. The goal is not to know if the high is taken or no. It's to understand that in that case, if you're trading with your MT4 and in the MT4 the price does it induce higher, and I just confirm if in one of my MT4s the price didn't induce higher, then you need to adjust. And this is why the partial zones are actually the best thing to do. That's my take on today. Yesterday, Euro GBP, September 19. Yeah, I had a couple of sweaty hands here, but I think you get the play. I like doing these kinds of trades. I like confirming those F bosses and trading into the SL. These are my favorite things to do. Like it's always the same thing. If you go here on USD, where is my USD CHF? Hello, USD. No, where is it? Is it here? USD CHF. Yeah. So if you go here, right? So look at the speed and momentum of this crap. We're just trading in line. They're just enticing people to short. The F boss isn't clear, but look at this. Look at this perfect candle, how it reacts. This is what gave me my second entry, right? This higher time frame or SMT zone, or call it whatever you want, right? Gives me the pullback, creates another F boss, and I just take this. It's so easy because it's always the same thing. This is my type of trades. I prefer trading into the liquidity than trading against it or away from it. So that's my take on it. I'm going to be stopping the recording right now and we'll discuss about the Q&As.